Auburn gets a much-needed commitment out of South Florida, and the Tigers announce who will be representing them at this year's SEC Media Days. This jam-packed edition of the Uptempo podcast starts right now. Let's go. What's up, Auburn family? What's up to my Uptempo gang? I'm your host, Dustin Smith, and we got a lot to talk about for early July, man. Picked up a big-time commitment. Auburn announces the 3 representatives for SEC Media Days, and DJ Barber, my guy. Big fan of his high school tape coming out. Gets into a little bit of trouble. You got to question whether we'll ever see him in an Auburn uniform again. Before we get into the discussion, man, do me a favor. Smash that thumbs up button. Share this out on social media. And if you're watching and you haven't subbed to the channel, and I checked the analytics, some of y'all are still doing that. What are you doing, baby? Just sub. It helps us out a ton. If you're listening on audio, go ahead and follow us. Leave a 5-star review. Helps the podcast out more than you know. Let's get to the good news, though, man. Auburn goes into South Florida and wins a battle that Auburn had to win, getting Adam. I'm just going to say Goon because he goes by Goon. I will eventually, I hear it enough times, I'll get that enunciation right there. Adam Goon-Ali commits to Auburn. 3-star linebacker. He comes in at 6'2", 205 pounds out of West Palm Beach. He's a 3-star some places, 4-star in other places. His composite ranking has him as a high 3-star, so I went with the 3-star rating there. I'll say this. I know there's going to be people in the comments that go, "Ooh, 3-star." You can say that stupid shit for another day. I don't really care. DJ Durkin loves him. And whoever's leaving that comment, a couple of y'all who it's going to be. You don't know more about linebacker than DJ Durkin does. So just save yourself even typing that out. DJ loves him. This is, from what I've been told, DJ has Adam as one of the top targets on the board. And just kind of talking about the player that Adam is. Just did the tape. Well, I looked at the tape. I'm going to do the film breakdown for our members here in a couple of days. Really explosive, kind of explodes through tackles, whether he's sacking the quarterback, whether he's getting into the backfield and breaking up a run play. Really explosive. He pops, kind of what you saw out of Bryce Diaz, kind of what you saw out of some DeMarcus Reddick on their high school tape. Just really kind of, when he goes into the backfield, it's quick, it's really explosive. And then, you know how some guys, there's tackling, there's guys that, are physical, and then there's some that just explode through the tackle. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He finishes it with such force and such physicality. So it's that nice South Florida combination of physical and super athletic. And he's an off-ball linebacker, and with that athleticism, you wonder what he's going to be like in pass coverage. I think he's going to be able to do it at a high level, maybe not right away. That's a difficult thing to ask, but I think he's going to be able to do it at a high level in the SEC due to his athleticism. And when you turn on the tape, he makes some really instinctual plays. He has some interceptions where he really reads the quarterback well, makes a break on the ball, displays good hands. He's got some receiving touchdowns and all that kind of stuff. You see that a lot in high school, guys playing both ways, but it just speaks to the athleticism that you're getting in this kid. And he picks Auburn over Missouri and Kentucky. I know that's not Alabama and Georgia, but hey, Missouri beat you last year, and Kentucky just flipped a 4-star wide receiver from you. So Auburn couldn't afford any more negative news. Auburn had to win this battle, and we've talked about it a lot on this show over the years, but Auburn's got to win a couple of battles in Florida, and it's usually on that defensive side. You got to get a couple of guys out of South Florida, bring that Florida speed up to the Plains, and you want to get 1, 2, 3 of those every cycle. Auburn's able to do it this time. Adam is stepping up in competition this year. He is transferring high schools. He was playing at a lower level. He's going to be bumping up a little bit. So I'll be interested to see playing at the higher profile high school that he'll be playing at, a step up in competition down there in South Florida, on top of being committed to Auburn, already flirting with a 4-star. If I had to put a prediction in today, his official rating, and again, I don't really care when I turn on the tape and I see what I see in a kid like this, doesn't really matter. And I trust DJ Durkin. There's some guys that we moved on from, kind of looking at like a Jermichael Garrett, it's very possible that DJ, when you remember you heard that was mutual, I think the Adams situation here with Adam Goon-Ali, I think that plays a part in some of those recruitments where they just had Adam higher on the board and they like where they stood with him. So all in all, Auburn able to bring it home. Big time commitment. And for the members, I will have the breakdown come on for you guys in a couple of days. It's going to be fun to watch how Adam develops this year, his senior year. And like I said, I think he finishes as a consensus 4-star when it's all said and done. All right, so Auburn has announced who will be representing the school this year at SEC Media Days, and 3 names that I don't think will shock anybody. I love it, man. Jackson Arnold, Connor Lew, and Keldric Faulk. Keldric went last year with Eugene Asante and Peyton Thorne, so Keldric's going back this year. The best player on the team, projected as a first-round NFL draft pick, a leader on the team, so a captain. So none of this is really surprising. I thought maybe they wouldn't bring Keldric back this year just because they brought him last year. I love to see that they're like, no, he's a leader. We'll bring him again. That doesn't matter. So Keldric coming back this year, I think that's great. And then Jackson Arnold was kind of obvious. Like, if you're going to bring in a quarterback, you're going to invest in the NIL money and all that, and he's going to be the leader of the team. It would have looked bad, in my opinion, if you didn't bring Jackson Arnold. Your quarterback's got to be the franchise. He's got to be the leader and all that kind of stuff. Same reason why they brought Peyton Thorne. And Peyton Thorne was a leader on the team. He was your returning starting quarterback at that point. But this is a no-brainer to me. You bring Jackson Arnold. He's going to get asked about the way things went at Oklahoma. He's going to get asked about the lack of weapons that he had last year at Oklahoma compared to what he's got now at Auburn. Going to be very interesting to see how he answers all those questions. He's going to try to kind of sidestep them to not throw shade at Oklahoma, but also to hype up Auburn. But I think he'll do great. And, obviously Auburn's going to have him trained up and all that. So, and then Connor Lew. This one really, really fires me up, man. Bring the center. Bring the big fella, baby. This guy he's just been incredible since he stepped in at Auburn. Avery Jones gets hurt a couple years ago. Connor's freshman year, about halfway through, Connor stepped right in, was immediately that dude, and we just watched him get better and better every game. What a spectacular sophomore year he had. And I think the cool thing about this is one, think back to when Hugh Freeze first got to Auburn. Connor Lew was committed to Miami. Keldric Faulk was committed to Florida State, right? Big time win for Hugh Freeze, flipping those guys in that short time period that he had. And look at them now. They're 2 studs, one on each side of the line of scrimmage, that are coming to represent you in their junior years at SEC Media Day. So it speaks to the importance of recruiting. It speaks to the importance of winning these battles when you have a dog like Connor Lew, when the Keldric Faulk coming out of Highland home. It's like we can't lose this one. Able to bring it home, and it's obviously paid off dividends on the field. You now see the leaders that they've become in the locker room, and you see that the representatives that they've become for the university. So it's just really cool to see these guys kind of mature and move up as Auburn men, and I love it. And I'm really excited to see these 3 guys, get some questions in with these 3 guys. I got my credentials in, hotel booked, so really, really fired up to be in Atlanta, talk to these 3 young men. Go ahead and follow us on the Uptempo podcast. Follow me on the socials if you haven't done that already. I'll be up there with the Board Report guys, pumping out exclusive content from Atlanta. Really fired up to do that. And final point, I think the cool thing about this is you got a guy in Connor Lew on the O-line, anchoring the O-line up front. You got a guy in Keldric Faulk, projected to have double-digit sacks this year. Supposed to be that leader on that defense. He's the guy, the first name that you bring up when you say, how is Auburn going to be able to attack the quarterback this year? Are they going to be able to improve in the pass rush? A healthy Keldric Faulk is obviously key to that. Everyone on that defensive line kind of plays off of him if he's doing his thing. So to me, it sends the message for Auburn to say, hey, we've got a guy anchoring us at center on O-line, and we've got a guy anchoring us on the edge on defensive line. It's kind of Auburn saying we're prepared in a line of scrimmage league to win at the line of scrimmage. And then they're also saying, hey, our investment in Jackson Arnold, we brought him in to be the quarterback of this team and to be the leader of this program. And by bringing him to SEC Media Days, they're saying we think he's that guy. We think that he will be the starter, and we put all the faith in the world in him as a leader, as a representative of the university. So, three big time names, big time opportunity for Connor Lew and Jackson Arnold, two guys that haven't been yet to kind of project that their brand and build their brand moving forward. Especially Connor Lew. Everyone knows Keldric Faulk at this point, highest rated player for Auburn on the new video game. Everyone knows Jackson Arnold, former 5-star quarterback. Everything that's going on to that. Not a lot of people know Connor Lew. He's a center on a team that's had back-to-back losing seasons since he's been there. So really excited for Connor to kind of get the pub, and hopefully the people from around the SEC that don't know just how good Connor Lew is, I think he'll get plenty of talk this week. They'll get plenty of intel on that. And hopefully they'll turn on the tape and just see the dog that young man is out there on that offensive line. I think it's going to be a great year for Connor. As long as, obviously caveat, if they all stay healthy here, Connor Lew could be an all SEC, borderline All-American, early draft pick. Keldric Faulk, fully predict that for him. All SEC, most likely first team, high first round, maybe early second round draft pick. So love these picks for Auburn, man. Can't wait to see these young men in Atlanta. And this one hurts my heart. You guys know this one hurts me. Anybody that's been following along with us for a long time, or anybody that has, any of you members that have watched our film breakdowns that we do of the recruits, you know how high I was on DJ Barber coming out of high school. Man, oh man. DJ gets arrested today. Or I don't know if it's today. It was announced he was arrested today. 2.5 pounds, not grams, pounds, 2.5 pounds of marijuana, multiple scales, a gun, baggies, just kind of everything. He got a trafficking charge, which is a felony. Everything, all the paraphernalia that shows, hey, I'm dealing drugs. And obviously, we'll let the courts play everything out. Don't want to go too far down that road. But if all this is true, you've probably seen the last of DJ Barber in an Auburn uniform. And I'll say this. It's one thing. You guys remember when Nick Marshall got suspended for the first half of the Arkansas game, coming back in that 2014 season, because he had got arrested for marijuana in the offseason. I think he got arrested with 7 grams on him. So, yeah, quarter sack, not a whole lot. He got suspended for the first half of the Arkansas game. He comes in the second half and plays great. And no one really said anything because, quite frankly, no one really cares if you smoke weed anymore. It's more about, like, time and place. Remember A&M got caught. The rumors of A&M smoking weed in the visiting locker room, meaning they brought weed on their trip and then we're smoking it in a locker room, which is just crazy. It's about time and place. I don't really want guys doing it like during the season type thing. Man, if DJ would have got arrested for having some weed on him, got caught smoking weed in a car or something like that, this would be like a 1-game suspension, a slap on the wrist, that kind of thing. But when it's something this serious as trafficking, for me, it really just shows poor judgment. And, hey, I was a young man once, 19, 20, however DJ Barber is. I made some very, very stupid choices that I was lucky that I didn't get caught making. So I get it, man. I understand it. You're young. You're playing SEC football. You just probably think you're invincible. You got caught up in the wrong stuff. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating here. So what he had going on. But I hate it because I don't, again, just you can't have this kind of stuff in your program. And it really, when I see this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, you've obviously made a stupid choice, but then it's probably likely that's not the only stupid choice you've made, right? Like you're playing SEC football at Auburn, you're playing linebacker at Auburn. You got a chance after redshirting last year to get on the field in a kind of a thin room, and this is what you do. So he's got a long hole to get out of to even get back into playing college football, wherever it's at. So the stance I usually take on this is if somebody is making that dumb of a choice, it's probably not the only dumb choice they made. They probably need to step back, reevaluate the way they're doing some things, and move forward. So I'm pulling for DJ Barber, the person. I think he's a super talented football player. However, I think that his time at Auburn should be done. It's just, again, lack of judgment, poor judgment, however you want to word it. Just can't have it. Can't have it in this locker room. Auburn's trying to build a winning culture, and these kind of distractions, it's a no-go, man. It's a no-go. So, like we talked about in the beginning, a new commitment means a new film breakdown for our members. $3.99 a month gets you to that JV squad. $5.99 a month gets you to that varsity squad. Sign up today, man. It helps me out. Headed up to SEC Media Day. Is going to have tons of exclusive content for you guys. Cannot wait to do that for you. So you want to get into this membership right now. There's a couple other targets on the board, recruiting wise, that Auburn is after. And if Auburn has the year that we're all hoping they have, there'll be a lot more commitments coming down the pipe. So you want to sign up, get those film breakdowns, get that intel, all that good stuff, and just be a part of this up-tempo community, man. I really enjoy getting to interact with all you guys. I love y'all, man. You guys are the absolute best. So before we get out of here, please do me a favor, share this out on social media, thumbs up button, sub, all that good stuff. It's Sword Dem Eagle forever, baby. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.